Emma Lenny Benye Nile Loco. Esiku Dede Asiko yi. Hello everyone, it's Adirunke again. I hope it is going well. Today I'll be addressing the word Rere and what it means in and of itself. I know that most people already know what it means. It's one of the popular Yoruba words. Even if you never knew what it meant, you would often be able to detect what it connotes when it's used in a certain context. These English translations are very often ascribed to it, and these words may be what you think of, at least as far as English translation goes. These words may be what you think of when you hear the word Ire. Good, goodness, good fortune, blessing, positive outcome, or positivity. These words are pretty common. However, I'd like to break it down. If you have watched similar videos, then you would almost immediately know that the E in Ire is a noun maker. A noun maker is often a letter, two at most. 90% of the time, the noun maker would be just one letter that you would combine with a verb to make the combination a noun. So if you're going to translate this E, you could translate it as the thing that, or the thing that is used to. Now, what is Re? Re is a contronym. That's one very interesting thing about it. Is the first thing that you think of. It's a contronym. It's a word with two opposite meanings. And when I made a video on contronyms, I explained that certain words, when they're applied one way, they mean one thing. But then when you use them in a different context, then you're saying something completely different or even opposite. Dum would be happy or sweet, but it could also be pain or hurt. It really depends on how you apply it. Re is like that too. Re in one context could be to fall out or to lose. So if you want to say that your bird's feathers fell out, for example, you would say, Iye eye miri. The feathers of my bird fell out. My bird's feathers fell out. Iye miri. It could be to pluck or detach. So if you want to say, I want to pluck okra, maybe you planted some okra in your backyard and you're going to pluck some, you would say, Mo fe re la, I want to pluck okra. Mo fe re la, I want to pluck okra. If someone's hair is falling out, just like a bird's feathers, for example, irun e ti n re je, or irun e ti n re. His or her hair is falling out. Irun e ti n re, irun e. His or her, I don't know if you can say it, maybe for like a doll or something, a doll's hair. His or her, or its hair is falling out. Irun e ti n re. It could also be to insult. It's like you're removing respect and honor from a person, taking the respect away, the honor away. So if you want to say, don't insult me, you would say, Mare mi rara, don't insult me. Now, Re, on the other end, which is the contronym aspect that I was talking about, could also be to gain, to grow, to increase or enlarge. So it could be one thing to lose, but it could also be another thing to gain. It's a contronym. Oore, if you say Oore, you would be saying Oposi, it increased, it grew. Oore, you look at something, you notice that it increased or it enlarged. Oore, Oposi, it increased, it grew. If you make a statement like Omoremi, you would be saying a child increased me. Not necessarily increased you in size, maybe you got bigger or something. For goodness sakes, you know what I mean. It's added to me, it increased me, it enlarged my coast, so to speak. So a child made me even more than I was, or a child made me more than I was. It really depends on what your situation was before you birthed this child. This would be a perfect name for maybe somebody who was birthed into the family where, they were really seeking a child, but there was almost everything else. They had money, they had cars, they had houses, and suddenly the child appeared. It would be a perfect name, like a child even added to the list of things that I already had, increased me, enlarged me in this respect or this multiple respects. Or maybe they don't have anything. It's not a family that is rich or well-to-do, but at least they have a child of their own, or they have another child of their own. Omoremi, So a popular person that bore this name was, of course, Moremi Ajashuru of Ife. And in this video, I talked about her a little bit. I don't really want to go into it, but I talked about her in relation to sacrifice and whether Ebo is the same as sacrifice. So if you haven't seen it and you have time, please check it out. So, Ire, if you're going to look at it, what it means in and of itself, the English translations that are ascribed to it are really indeed correct. The thing that, or the thing that is used to had, increase or enlarge, or grow. So the thing that adds to, the thing that increases or enlarges, the thing that grows. Ire. If it adds to you, then it must be good. It must be a blessing. If it increases you and enlarges you, it must be a blessing. It must be good. If it grows you or helps you grow in one way or another, it must be a blessing. I can't really think of any better English translation. These are the closest that one can find. Rere. Rere is another related word that I'd like to address. If you've heard Ire, there's a chance that you've heard Riri. Rere is an adjective. Riri is good. Good in the adjectival sense. You know, you can have good as a noun, which would be Ire, but you can also have good as an adjective, which would be Riri. So the re is the adjective maker in Riri. Re is the verb still. The re is the adjective maker. I'll tell you how. And it will be the thing that adds to, increases, or enlarges and grows. Riri. There's a way to make a verb an adjective or an adverb by duplicating the verb. You double it and it becomes an adjective or an adverb. And you see that in words like dondon and gongon and riri and funfun and dudu and lala. You duplicate the verb and it gives you an adverb or an adjective. So Rere, the thing that increases, enlarges, grows, the thing that is an adjective, good. Re, you duplicate this, put it in front of it, and you get the adjective, good in this case. Oore is another one that you may have heard. Oore. It's in the names Oore Oluwa, Oore Lope. You think of Ire as well when you hear Oore. Oore is Onrere, shrunk. Onrere became Oore, then Oore became Oore. We like to combine words, so over time, this just became this. On is thin. On is thin, and we've already identified that Riri is good. So Oore. So if you say Ọlọ́run ṣe oore fún mi, God did a good thing for me. That's what you would be saying. God, in quotation marks, because our idea of God and of Ọ̀run is not quite that of the Abrahamic God and heaven. It's not quite the same in many respects. That's what you would be saying when you say, Ọlọ́run ṣe oore fún mi. God did a good thing for me. Ohun rere, oore. Of course, if you're looking for an English translation, blessing and goodness would work for oore. What does oore mean? Blessing, goodness. So that's that for Ire and Oore and Rere, particularly Ire. If you hear the verb re used in a certain context, like I thought re almost always connotes something good or pleasant. That's why it's in Ire. Not necessarily. It's a contronym. So it could also be the exact opposite of that, like loss or, something being detached or falling out or a disconnection, could also be that. Don't be surprised. I forgot to include re in that video on contronyms, and since I published that video, I've found multiple contronyms. Some I managed to scribble, some I don't, and I forget again. There are multiple contronyms in the language, for sure. I'm going to leave it at that. If you have any questions or you would like more clarification, particularly regarding re, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you for watching and for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your day, and bye for now.